Hello, my name is James, and I'm the Mayor of Jamestown. On the 10th day of Epic Games' Christmas free giveaway, we have My Time at Portia, a relaxing crafting and farming title reminiscent of Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and Harvest Moon. Developed by Portia and published by Team 17, the game was originally released on the 23rd of January 2018. With the game being similar to previous titles like Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and Harvest Moon, what's to be expected with this one? Well, you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that it's a little bit of all three. You have the luxury of building your farm in whatever way you desire, just like in something like Harvest Moon, or Stardew Valley for that matter. All the while having the whole of the village to interact with, get commissions from, and eventually befriend. That's the kind of thing you're into, just like Animal Crossing. I'd argue that the game isn't quite as detailed as something like Animal Crossing, but considering the game is from a little indie studio, they've done quite a cracking job with the game as a whole, even able to give its own unique style. In terms of gameplay, you have sort of an energy system that allows you to only do so much during each day to ensure you don't steamroll through all of the content. Every action you make takes away a bit of energy, regardless of what it is, and once it's down to zero, you had best head to bed before you pass out. Obviously, with a game like this, the best part of it is being able to take your rundown little workshop and turn it into something magical. You literally start the game needing to fix the workshop to stop the breeze to make sure your character gets a proper night's sleep. You have the freedom to do what you want with your property, pretty much to your heart's content. It definitely isn't nearly as customizable as something like Minecraft, but that's not what you're coming here for. To keep fans of the RPG genre engaged, there is a skill system that you get to play around with, allowing you to put skill points into certain activities you do to keep your energy usage as optimized as possible. It isn't anything incredible or revolutionary, but it's a nice extra to the RPG side of things that gives the game just that little bit more depth. Visually speaking, I'm in two minds when it comes to My Time at Portia. For one, the bright and vivid colours the game gives off is a part of this weird farming genre that I really enjoy. Overall, the colour palette is just really nice to look at. On the flip side though, I'm not the biggest fan of the game's overall art style. Don't get me wrong, the world itself and the environments are nicely done, but it's the characters that bother me. They just don't seem to have the same level of detail as the rest of the world, which meant every time I came across an NPC, I couldn't help the idea that they all looked just a little bit awkward. So, I can't exactly say I'm a fan when it comes to the NPCs themselves. There really isn't much that can be said about the game's story on this one, however. Essentially, you move to this new island that your dad used to live on and take over running of his workshop. The island itself has been in a better state considering that it's had a touch of the apocalypse, meaning it isn't exactly in the greatest of shape, however, it won't stop you from becoming the best builder around. Honestly, the story really doesn't matter as a whole, it's easily forgettable and doesn't add anything to the game, it's simply a plot device to give you some kind of objective. I will say, when it comes to the audio, the game did let me down a little bit, for a couple of different reasons. The first being how kind of meh the music is, it's rather dull and it's simply just the boring track that's in the background to pad out the silence. It gets quite repetitive rather quickly and it's not something I enjoyed listening to. Secondly, the sound effects really aren't that great. They typically sound pretty similar to one another, meaning if you spend a day chopping down trees, you're going to hear that one sound effect. It isn't great, and honestly is one of these games where I'd rather just have music on in the background instead. In conclusion, My Time at Portia is one of those games that's going to appeal to certain people and not so much to others. Personally, I quite enjoy the game because of the genre it's in, the RPG mechanics are a fun addition, and being able to spend hours creating my perfect farm and home away from home is a great way to spend my time. On the flip side, however, the game can be slow to progress at times, there's no real story to care about, unlike something like Stardew Valley, and the audio as a whole doesn't really do it for me. Admittedly though, I will be giving the game a traffic light score of green. I quite enjoy the gameplay loop of this one, and it's one of those games that's easy to pick up and play whenever you want, just like any good game in the genre. This game definitely won't be to everyone's taste, especially if you don't feel like you're doing anything, but for anyone that's a fan of farming games, you could do a lot worse than this one. Thanks to those of you that stuck around this long, be sure to like, comment, subscribe and all that goodness. Providing that list continues to be true, tomorrow we should be getting Night in the Woods for free, so be sure to keep an eye out for that one. I've been James, the Mayor of Jamestown, and I'm off. Goodbye.